I'm live. This is my first YouTube live. It's my first live anything, except I've been alive. You know what I'm saying? So I did this just off of like, man, I had to talk about this. So that's why I'm live. This is crazy. I'm live. Is anybody out there? Nobody's out there, except maybe on the replay. But that's okay. Look, I just came from donating plasma, and it saves lives, and that's pretty cool. Some you get paid too. So I'm donating plasma, and I had to do this because I think there's a big problem in the world, okay, with making assumptions. And there's a book written by Dr. Stephen J. Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of them is a paradigm shift, which is a shift of how to look at things. And the last time, and I want companies, you're out there, you own a company, you're head of anybody, interacting, anyone that interacts with anyone needs to hear this, okay? I have some allergies, and I have irritants and such. And so last time when I went to donate, every time I go to donate, I take more than, well, the Band-Aids are just sitting there. They don't tell you to take them. You just use them if you want. Look, see, that's not the middle finger. But I use it because they prick your finger, and then they give you a little cotton swab, and that's it. And it's like, okay, they don't tell you to take a Band-Aid. I take a Band-Aid because after doing it a couple of times, I'm like, hey, it's bleeding still, and I'm supposed to just walk around holding a cotton swab. Oh, there's a Band-Aid, so I use the Band-Aid. Well, then they also stick a needle in your arm, and they drain you and then fill you back up. Well, guess what? At the end, they have to wrap up your arm, right? Hear this. When they wrap up my arm, sometimes it's tight, and I can't move my arm. So it's like, some of the people are really perceptive, and they wrap it in a certain way, but that I can move my arm. But I think they have like this corporate standard where I can't wrap the arm. They have to wrap the arm a certain way, so I can't move it. It can be really restrictive, as well as after a while, the material that they use to wrap it like irritates me severely, and I just want to cut it off and throw it off my arm. But I leave it on for a while so I don't take it off, and then blood, squirts everywhere. But I need then more Band-Aids, and sometimes I don't go straight back to the office. I don't go straight home. I don't go straight to any kind of secure place. I might be out for hours, going about the rest of my day. And so I need some Band-Aids, because if I take that thing off and blood is squirting everywhere, I got to cover up, right? Or I may have to put multiple Band-Aids. So there's lots of different reasons why I would grab more than just one Band-Aid for this finger. I need a Band-Aid too for the arm, because I'm going to take that thing off. And then as it squirts, I need more Band-Aids. Listen, I'm not a bandit. I'm not a Band-Aid bandit. I think I know businesses need to look at this situation that I'm about to really dive into and see how they could take advantage of this thought process. So now I'm I'm donating, I'm done. Actually, let me just tell you what happened last time, okay? So the last time I went, this very unpleasant person greeted me and did, the intake of everything, and asked me the questions. They take your temperature and make sure you're feeling well today, blah, blah, blah. And then I go to take, 3, 4 Band-Aids, and she's like, can you just take one? No, okay. She's like, can you just take one Band-Aid, please? I was like, man, a little rude. She's already rude. She asked me, how you doing today? And I was like, well, And then she's like, your name? She skipped over. She didn't even listen to me. She asked me how I'm doing. And while I was in the thought process of, how am I doing? She went straight to the name. That's horrible. One sign, horrible. And I just felt the shortness every step of the way. This is not a review on the business. There's more to it than this. This is a review about life processes and how business processes can be improved by asking the right questions, paying attention to things. So, that goes on. And then I go to the Band-Aid, and then she's like, just take one, please. I was like, well, what if I need, no, she didn't even say please. That's what was worse. She wasn't like, can you just please take one? There was nothing pleasant. So she stops me and like, just one Band-Aid. I was like, okay. But what if I need more than one Band-Aid? She's like, would you get one? Because I told her I use it for my arm. She's like, well, you have to get one from over there. I'm thinking in my head, one typically doesn't cut it, but okay. So I let it go. I go out, do the thing. When I asked them for one, they would get like, yeah, we got a Band-Aid, but like, why do you want a Band-Aid? It was just kind of weird. Well, guess what? I'm here saving lives. They pay you, but their whole thing is saving lives, not come get a paycheck. So I'm there saving lives. I'm the customer, and I wasn't feeling that way. But moving along, again, not a review, it's reviewing processes. So moving along, I leave. They give me a Band-Aid, I leave. I go back today, and this is what brings me to this live stream. Only 5 minutes in, right? But hey, I can't edit it, so it is what it is. So I go back today, and lo and behold, that person, well, let's just say they, oh, okay, reading this live stream stuff. I don't know what these chats things are that's coming up, but I'm going to tell you what happened today. And so I go back and they stopped me from being able to donate. And they had a talk with me. Here's the meat and potatoes kind of what I'm talking about. This is the meat, or this is the potatoes. I'm going to get to the meat in a second. So they stopped me from being able to donate and say that I'm, taking too many Band-Aids. Like, what? Here's why. Last time I donated, the lady said, I asked her, can I have some Band-Aids? Instead, she didn't speak that good of English. So instead of giving me Band-Aids, she wrapped up my arm multiple times with, just more gauze. I'm like, okay, that's not a Band-Aid, but fine. So I let it go. Walking out the building, I stopped and I grabbed me Band-Aids because I wanted Band-Aids. If she had spoke English, I wouldn't have had to do that, but she didn't, and no big deal. I didn't say nothing. I was just like, thank you, and I grabbed me Band-Aids. So I go in today, and they have a block on me saying that I took Band-Aids. So here's the thing for a business owner and for people. What they could have done, instead of making me feel how most people would feel, like, oh, I'm a Band-Aid thief, and everyone's looking at it. When I went in today and said the machine like flagged me, manager had to come over. The coworkers looked at it and started giggling. That made me feel really, really good because it had a block on there because I'm a Band-Aid thief, right? I tell the manager, he says, I'm not the first one to complain about that person, and he thanked me. And then he asked about the Band-Aids, and I told him. Now, as a business owner, here's what you could do. Let me make this precise. You go look at why someone is taking Band-Aids and ask yourself, what is this establishment? It's an establishment where blood is there. How much do I make off of this person? And how many Band-Aids are they taking? Is it really worth making them feel a certain way and possibly losing them when I'm making $100 off of them every time they come? Because they pay me. If they pay me, they're making money, right? So let's say they're making $100 off of every visit. And if I were taking Band-Aids, how much does it cost? $2 a box? I'm not taking a whole box. Now they run the risk of me never coming back and speaking ill of them everywhere I go and any time that comes up. Bad move. What they could do is say, why is he taking so many Band-Aids? Let's engage him and ask, hey, is there something we can do? Perhaps it's in their process. Maybe if he's taking so many Band-Aids, at what stage is he using them? He's actually using them. Perhaps we can do something in our process to eliminate the need for him to take so many Band-Aids. For instance, have someone that speaks English better, because I would have gotten just one Band-Aid. Have someone that's more pleasant to explain to me, our cost is going up. We want to continue to give you the best service. So can you just take what you need? Perhaps when they even speak to me, you get where I'm going with this, right? I'm not going to turn this into a seminar, but this is how our world is all. And it starts with communication, a smile, friendliness, leaning into the conversation instead of being so uppity about it. And I'm going to end with this story. Dr. Stephen J. Covey, as I mentioned, wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In that book, there's a person on a train, and you should read the book. They have audio books. You can probably find it on YouTube. But they're on a train, and his kids are just going crazy, like cuckoo for cocoa, whatever. They're just crazy, right? And the people are looking at him going, man, I wish this guy would control his children. And he just had his head down, and the kids are running amok. And then finally someone steps up and steps up in a bad way, in my opinion, but steps up and is like, hey, why don't you do something about your kids? And he's like, I would, but we just came from their mom's funeral and I don't know what to do. That's a paradigm shift. It changed everything on how they looked at it. So to that location, looking at me as taking too many Band-Aids, why don't they figure out why? Why don't they engage? And then look at their processes, look at their employees, look at how they can learn from that situation, and then ask themselves, hey, if everybody's not hitting us up for Band-Aids, how much are we making off this guy? Sometimes you just got to know when to let it go. You know what the manager told me? You're a pleasant donor. We like having you come here. And then why risk stopping me from coming anymore? Because I tell you what I value, and that's me. And if I feel a bad way, I ain't coming back. I don't need the money. I came to help. So to anyone that was watching, thanks for watching. It's my first live stream. Crazy. Peace out to y'all. Have a great day. And I think I saw a comment. I'll read it. The fear of long words is called, okay, I don't know if that's a spam thing or what, but either way it goes, thanks for watching. Whoever watches, you have a great day. Now, how do I stop this thing?